If you're looking to start a young adult ministry, this is the episode for you. Well, welcome back to another episode of Young Adult Ministry Insights, and I am so excited to share how to start a young adult ministry on this episode. So I'm just going to jump right in. So if you watched my first episode of this season, I talked about how young adult ministry is from those 18 to 39. It's a really big range. And so this episode in particular is going to share about how you can start a young adult ministry in your parish. Because remember, there's other areas of young adult ministry where we can serve, and especially on the college campus and other areas of our church. But this in particular is for those who are in a Catholic parish looking to start their young adult ministry right within your parish boundaries, or maybe sharing with another parish. So there's other ways you could do it. So let's start. First, you want to look at that age range, 18 to 39, and see, where is it that I really want to put my focus on? Is it that those very formative young adult years right out of high school and into college that I want to put my focus on? Maybe say 18 to 25 years old, which is a very condensed group, but a very popular group, especially if you are in an area where a lot of young adults are not going away to college, maybe going to community college, and you want to have a ministry for them. This age group will work really well if you have a very established high school youth group that is thriving, going strong, and now those young adults who have just graduated high school need the next step to go to. So you might want to start a young adult ministry within your parish if this sounds like your parish and your youth ministry. Where's that next step for them? Can you make a young adult group to serve the needs of those young adults who are still seeking that community aspect that they had during their high school years? You may also want to make it a little bit wider, maybe 18 to 28. Now that's 10 years, and you're going to have a lot of different young adults in different places in their life during those years. However, if you have young adults that are on the lower end and the higher end, and you really want to meet their needs, then possibly think about that. And then lastly, do you want to go the whole young adult route and just be 18 to 39 and really span that age group, or push it up a little higher, maybe leave it out the 18 years old, but you have young adults who are really in those years of their life that in 2023, we have so many young adults who are getting married later in life and really just seeking community in their 20s and early 30s. And so maybe you want to have just an older young adult community. Whatever you decide, you want to gear the meetings and topics towards them. So I would start with a core team of young adult leaders who you just take out to lunch maybe one day and pick their brain a little bit about what they're looking for in this community. Do they want to have a regular Bible study? Do they want to have a regular men's and women's ministry? Or they just want a co-ed group that meets weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? What is the pulse of the group, and what is the frequency you should plan the meetings? After deciding that point, what day are the meetings going to be on? Are you going to have a consistent meeting? It's always going to be every Monday night or every Friday night, or are you going to try different nights of the week to try to fit different people's schedules? And that's going to really depend on your parish life as well. Possibly your parish has a lot of thriving ministries and it's hard to get into a meeting room, so it's dictated for you. There's only an opening on Wednesday night, and that's when it is. Or other times, you may want to just see, where is the best space for you to meet, and when is that available? Can we make it regular, or should we bounce it around? So I would look into all of those details and then plan accordingly. Beyond that, you want to just set out a schedule. I would start with about a 2-month time frame where you can set it out and advertise it. And what I would do is I would begin with just a general meeting where everybody comes together for dinner. And I love using food to draw youth and young adults into your meetings. Our Lord did it, and we can follow his example. Look at the multiplication of the fishes and the loaves and how it drew people. Also, the Last Supper was around a meal. And so making your ministry start off with a meal is such a great way to pull in young adults, especially if you're offering it as a free dinner. And so pick something that's affordable. Maybe it's pasta, maybe it's something else. I wouldn't go pizza because it's so just overdone and very youth-like. I would do something just a step above pizza, or whatever you can afford in your parish budget. Invite those young adults in, for this meal, and around that dinner table, start some conversation in sharing about what this young adult group has to offer them, and maybe ascertain some ideas from the young adults, asking what they would want to see in a young adult meeting. For some of them, it might be Bible study that they're really craving, desiring, and something that you want to regularly put into your schedule. And for others, it might just be that fellowship being together, so you might want to plan some more social events. Whatever the group is saying, try to add that into the schedule and make that a part of your schedule coming up for the next, few months. Additionally, listen to them in their spiritual needs, because young adults know what they are desiring and possibly what they are lacking. You can hear in that conversation. A couple examples of this are, one of our young adults suggested to me very early on in my years of young adult ministry on the parish level that we should begin each meeting with the rosary. There was a strong Marian devotion going on in the group at that time, and they were desiring to pray the rosary in community. I heard that, and we incorporated it into our meeting as a trial for a couple months. It took off, and it was something that was a part of our ministry for about 10 years straight, with beginning each meeting with the rosary. And it also offers that time of prayer, community prayer, and really allowing one to explore what the rosary and that prayer has to offer them as far as graces, and getting into a routine with it, and even incorporating it into their own prayer life. So I would really encourage listening to the spiritual needs. Another example is we started to do a monthly holy hour together where we would pray before the Lord, have a time of silence and a time of reflection. Our deacon would give us a sermon and as well as benediction at the end. And so it was a great way to have the Lord part of our regular routine. We did this the first Monday of every month, a holy hour to begin that month very strong as a community. And I will tell you, those monthly meetings where we started with the holy hour were probably some of the best attended meetings, because the young adults desired it and because it was a regular, routine, scheduled meeting as part of their ministry. And then lastly, having some open discussion nights. So we would have an opportunity where we had some small group questions, and that talking and sharing was a great way for the young adults to really learn from each other and really understand each other in a spiritual way. So listen to the spiritual needs of the group, incorporate them into your schedule. Of course, retreats, which we'll have future episodes about, and other pilgrimage opportunities and other areas where young adults can grow in their faith together are so important to include into these schedules. But this is just a small little way where you can start incorporating young adult ministry into your parish and meeting the needs of the young adults where they're at in their spiritual life and their spiritual journey. God bless.